My name is Steve Sitton, and I'm a senior engineering manager at Medidata. And my talk is covering building a tech culture at Medidata. So firstly, just a bit about me. So I've been working in the tech industry for over 20 years now. Started off as a developer, gradually worked my way up to leading teams, and I've been managing teams now for over 7 years. I've been at Medidata now for 2.5 years doing that, leading teams there. If you're interested in finding me on Twitter, my handle is Steve Sitton. For those who maybe don't know much about Medidata, Medidata solutions help shorten the time to start and complete clinical trials and bring drugs to market faster. This means millions of patients can see the benefits of medical research faster. So we are basically a global company working throughout the whole clinical trial process. So we have an office in London, which is based in Hammersmith. Obviously, we're all working remote now with the current situation, but we have 10 engineering teams based there. Along with that, we also have remote teams based in India with a vendor, roughly about the same number, and they pair up with the teams that we have in the UK. We have a software as a service platform that is completely on the cloud, and our tech stack is primarily Scala APIs. We do have some Java services, some Java tooling, as well as our UI is based on React and node.js. So doing a talk on building a tech culture, it's important to maybe try and understand what culture is, because it's difficult to pin down the definition, because culture means different things to different people. Now, one of the most probably popular quotes around culture is "culture eats strategy for breakfast," which is accredited to Peter Drucker. And this is true, because no matter how good your strategy is, there's a human factor to how successful your projects will be. And you can search online for definitions about culture, but one that's always stuck me is that your culture is every decision you make. I heard this on a talk some time ago, but unfortunately I can't remember who by. But it stuck with me because I really believe that it's true that your culture is basically driven by every person in your organization, in your tech teams, and by the decisions that they make. It's not something that can be pushed down from the top, and no matter how many posters you put around the office or colourful beanbags there are lying around, that doesn't give you your culture. It's the people that do that. And I believe that it's the responsibility of all of the managers, the leadership, to provide an environment where your culture can grow. So I'm going to go through what kind of forms the basis for our culture at Medidata and how our tech culture grows on top of that. But I'll also be providing just, say, personal opinions around some leadership and management that apply to that are related. So an essential part of building any culture is to have a mission, something that people believe that they can be part of. At Medidata, we're united around a single goal, that together we power smarter treatments and healthier people. This means that at Medidata, we're more than just a technology company. We believe we're building an architecture of hope. And this is a powerful mission because it's changing people's lives for the better. It's even more crucial now in the current pandemic that we're in. And everyone at Medidata is part of this mission every day. I mean, Medidata, our tech teams are no different to other tech teams. We're busy. There can be pressure on. We're delivering features and supporting our customers. So I believe that it's important to remind everyone, remind the teams about what our mission is, so that when the days are hard, when we are, let's say, bogged down in all of our work, we need to see what that value of that work is all about, and look at our mission to see what that is delivering, because that provides an extra focus, an extra energy into what we're doing, because of the impact that our work can have. So I believe that this mission is, let's say, the base layer to our culture. It's a common purpose throughout, which we build upon. So next, Medidata, we have, say, core principles, but I would say that one of the core values at Medidata is that of caring. And you can see that in the 5 founding principles that there is at Medidata, which is diversity and belonging, sustainability, employee wellness, volunteering, and philanthropy. Now, Medidata is a mission-driven company that sees the diversity of its employees as a tremendous asset, and that values creating a sense of belonging throughout the company. So not only does Medidata care about its employees, but it also cares about the environment around us. One example of this can be seen in a project where Medidata UK partnered with the Hammersmith Business Improvement District to work on a partlet program where to improve the green space and the air quality in the area. And this resulted in some parklets being created pretty much directly outside of our office, so that the public and the community can use these, as well as people at Medidata can see that this is something that the company has been part of, that they want to change and help the community. But there are also, throughout the company, there are volunteering opportunities and programs where employees can give back to the community as well. So this is just a quick overview, but it helps to show the aspects of Medidata, how it is a caring organization. It cares for customers, it cares for employees, it cares for patients, and it cares for the environment around us. I wanted to share this because I believe that it's important, because it's basically Medidata's DNA. It really is what Medidata is all about. And this is what our employees, what our teams are all part of. So we have these principles, but then Medidata strives for 3 things as part of its culture, which are openness, collaboration, and fun. So looking at our tech culture, we can build on top of these, build on top of the openness, collaboration, and fun within our teams. I do see that openness is important in any tech teams, because ultimately you want people to be themselves at work. For this to happen, we need to create an environment that ultimately fosters psychological safety, so that people can be themselves and feel that they're in a safe environment within their teams. Now, there are many talks on psychological safety and the aspects around that, but I believe that it's the engineering managers' responsibility to ensure that their teams are a safe place for people to express their opinions, to express their feelings, and this doesn't come for free. It takes effort, and I believe some areas to do this are building relationships. Ultimately, this is down to building trust within the teams. This can be done through regular one-to-ones, but it's about getting to know the people in your team, know what's important to them, know about their families, remembering their birthdays. Sometimes it's the simplest of things that makes a big difference to a person, but it helps them feel more comfortable, let's say, feel themselves, and once you get that, they can be more open. And then it's about being role models. I really believe that, particularly as managers, we should be role models to others. So we're asking our teams to do certain things, yet if we go and do the opposite, that's not setting a great example, and it won't certainly lead to other people wanting to do the same thing. But it's also about people within the teams being role models for each other, so that we can so it's how we react to mistakes and how open we are to other people's ideas. All of this is about being an example to others, but it helps, all leads to that openness. And then actively listening. I mean, we can all be very good at talking, but actively listening ultimately is a skill, and it's certainly something that I'm working on. But it shows that you care. It shows you care about, who's talking to you. You care about what they're saying, and you want to learn more about it. And then that helps that person feel more comfortable as well, feel valued. And then giving feedback is an important part of building any culture, both positive and constructive, whether it's at a team level through retrospectives or even in one-to-ones. Feedback shows that you care about someone. You want to give them positive feedback to encourage what they're doing, but also constructive to help them in any areas that they're looking to work on, any areas that may need development. But ultimately, it shows that you care. Now, I believe that these are key areas that help people feel safe in themselves at work, and ultimately provide an opportunity for a culture of openness. Now, moving on to collaboration. Collaboration is important, particularly when you have distributed teams. And although autonomy is important to us, we want to make sure that we're learning from each other constantly. Now, I put collaboration into different areas. So first of all, leadership collaboration. I see this as kind of one of the most important areas, because having partnerships with your peers in the organization is essential for improving and helping your teams, but also making your workplace better. We have obviously the usual Slack channels where we can update people and ask questions. This is good. But we also wanted something that can help the collaboration and learn from each other. And this led to having what we've called a leadership forum. So this is every month, we, as in the leaders, managers, the directors, would get together and just have open discussions around what's important to our teams. All the topics are driven by us within the teams, so that basically we're raising and discussing anything that's kind of important to us, so that we can make improvements and see how other teams are working. I would say that the picture you see on the slide isn't a leadership forum in action. This was a social, just where we're building relationships. But that's another key part of this that I've really enjoyed, is it's helped us build relationships with other managers. So I've got to know some of the managers through this that maybe I wouldn't have normally, just in the office environment. But this leadership forum has really helped us improve on areas within our tech culture, so that we've learned how other teams operate. Now, that's not to say that we want our teams to work exactly the same, but we can find common patterns. We can find good things within teams that we may want to put into others. But it's also around maybe like initiatives. We've improved our hiring process. We've learned how best or how we can improve adopting certain practices like DevOps. This is still in progress, but we can discuss at this level things that are working as part of that and things that may need improvement. But we discuss and we collaborate together to do that. So the next one is team collaboration. Now, even before lockdown, collaboration is important across our teams, and because we've got different teams across different time zones. So the communication and that collaboration has been essential for our culture. And obviously we have our Slack channels across the teams, and video chats. That's all important for building our culture. But what we wanted to do was to try and avoid some of the silos within our teams and find ways that we can share knowledge across them. So we started an initiative to help break down some of these silos. The initiative is called MediTech. So we see this as, say, a mini conference or a get-together of all of the engineering teams to share what work they're working on or what's important that could be relevant to other people. So every month we have 2 or 3 talks that can be anything about what the team is doing or what they think another team might find valuable. So over the course of how long it's been running, we've had 31 talks, I think 32 speakers and 8 different hosts. So what this provides us is an opportunity not only for sharing knowledge, but for people in the team to practice their public speaking or even hosting an event. But I believe that this MediTech has been a real big part of our tech culture. I believe it's just great to see how people have been building relationships based on a talk. People have been wanting to chat, discuss, work with each other on the ideas that they've heard so that they can learn more about it or see how that it can apply to them. But also this MediTech has grown to different countries. We've had Japan have been having their own MediTechs, but also other countries have joined our MediTech. So we've had speakers from Japan or the US, from their engineering teams that have come and shared information that could be relevant for us. So it really has built on this culture of collaboration, not only within London, but across the tech organization. And then as well as team, there is just individual collaboration as well. This is where obviously as managers, we can work with individuals on anything that could be important to work on, skills or anything that needs areas of development. But also pair programming as well. That's important for individuals to work and collaborate together. So I really believe I've enjoyed all of this collaboration, all of the leadership, the team, and individually, because it's really built on Medidata's core principle of belonging, where we've been collaborating across all these different levels. And then when we move on to fun, now, the teams they work hard and they are under pressure at certain times. So it's important that we can have fun along the way. And having fun is a key part of our culture. And we do this in a variety of ways. We do have regular hackathons where teams groups of people can work together to obviously achieve whatever the project is. We have team meals and drinks. We have sports events. Now, admittedly, some of you may not see a sports event is much fun, but there is also a social aspect to all of this, where people who may not be wanting to run, but they join in just for the social interaction. But then throughout the year, there's also many other social events, whether it's the office as a whole or just the tech teams, just about being with the team and having fun. But obviously, as now we're all in lockdown, it's important to maintain that, because to try and avoid situations where anyone is feeling isolated or lonely, it's important to maintain those the connections that we have in our teams, which is hard when we are all fully remote. So again, this takes effort, but we've been doing this through remote drinks, online games, and team events. But what we've seen is it's good to see the teams, working together, having a bit of fun, even through obviously the situation we're all in now, where we are all working remotely. But all these events and all these opportunities, it just gives a moment away from the work or the challenges we have, just to have fun with some of the friends that we have in the office. So I see all of that as all part of our culture and building our culture. But it is a journey, and it's a journey that I never really believed that you will never get to an end of. You'll never be finished. I think that one thing you can be sure of is that change is guaranteed. Organizations evolve, people change, the environment around us can be unpredictable, as we're very much seeing at the moment. So a sense of a healthy culture is one that gets stronger. And this is what we see at Medidata in our teams, that what we've seen around us, we work together, we work with each other through challenges, through different circumstances. This is where we help each other out, we look out for each other, and we grow stronger through that as a united team. And that, ultimately, that we can change, adapt to change together. Obviously, we've had a big change with lockdown, and ultimately, when we look at our engineering teams, although it's a big change of all going fully remote, this actually had minimal impact on our productivity. Now, ultimately, you can say that no commuting has had an impact on that, and that's true. But it's also the mindset and the attitudes of the people in the teams who have continued wanting to work together. They've known our mission and what we're delivering to our customers, and that's helped us to adapt to changes, the big changes that we're seeing around us, and obviously keep that culture that we have at Medidata. But also, it's more than kind of adapting to changes around us in the environment that are unpredictable, but it's also bringing in new changes within an organization, maybe new practices. I mentioned earlier around DevOps. Now, ultimately, this can be a big change for people in the organization. It's different ways of doing things. But this, again, is where our culture is a strength, because this is where we work together, we're open around maybe some of the difficulties we're having around this, some of the things we're not quite sure about. When we're collaborating together, we're working together to gradually get to a better place with any new practice or any new changes to come in. This is all a sign of the healthy culture, the strong culture that we have at Medidata. So to summarize, our tech culture is built on our powerful mission, our core principles, which has a strong sense of caring, as well as striving for an environment of openness, collaboration, and fun. And this enables us to nurture our strongest talent, the people, because ultimately we want our teams to be who they want to be themselves, and ultimately have an opportunity to be where they want to be. And we believe that we can give the people a safety and the environment for them to do that within Medidata. And I believe that all of this has helped Medidata become one of the best places to work with, voted for this year as a great place to work. We're voted number 18 in the large company category. So I really do believe that it is every decision that defines our culture. And at Medidata, we are building a culture. We are building our tech culture. It is a journey, but we're working together, making decisions to help us improve and be better. Thank you.